toxic femininity.
There's toxic people. There's just toxic people. Like, these masculine and feminine conversations irk my soul so bad, to the point where, like, you're sitting here saying to me, like, oh, she has a masculine energy. You goddamn right, I'm a boss, bitch. But when it comes to my man, I'm the most feminine, intimate.
It's hard to shut off sometimes. It is hard to shut off sometimes.
For some people, it is hard to shut off. But let me tell you something. The right man can really trigger, I hate to say it like this, but the right man can really trigger your femininity and have you shut up. Because for me, if you're a real man, like, mind you, like, we all know that I'm real.
It depends, though. It depends, Miss Shine.
Well,
because see, the right man sometimes is gonna tell you the wrong way, and so when he be like, "Shut the fuck up," and you're gonna be like, "Oh, that's I'm see," because then the boss comes in. See, that's when the boss comes in.
Now,
people don't talk to me like that, but you're not realizing, no, but you're not. What's up, everybody? I want to thank you for tapping in to the first episode of Say Your Piece.
Give us a like, share, subscribe. Let's get this algorithm moving up, so we can get new numbers.
Now, at Say Your Piece, we actually bring in women to say their piece, tell it from their perspective, and hopefully, in my heart, I want to say, hopefully, we can get some females to set some of y'all females straight.
Mm-hmm. Enlighten your mind, open you up.
All right, now tonight, we got a very special guest. We got LeGree Shine in the house.
Hello.
Yes, sir. All right, now, Brains, what we got on the docket?
Okay, so we got a few questions here that we wanted to, discuss right quick. And
you know what we're gonna do? You pick one, then let her throw one, and then so just randomly pick one, and we'll just discuss it.
Okay. Our first question we have here today is, do you think relationships should be 50-50 or traditional?
That is very much a loaded question. Mm-hmm. But 50-50 and traditional, I believe it's a combination of both. It's unrealistic for you to think that one should be 100% one way or 100% the other. So
True.
I think that's the conversation that you have with your partner to see in what areas they're strong, and you can have that balance, and then you can discuss like how your relationship is going to play out. That to me would be a close to perfect answer.
Perfect scenario, right? But there are a lot of relationships out there. They want it to be 50-50 on one side.
No, what I'm trying to get at is, okay, when most women say 50-50, they look at it as, nigga, you broke. Small dick energy.
No.
You can't take care of all your business, but is that generally not the...
Okay, so we're talking about the basic females walking these streets that say like, oh, if a man got me paying 50-50, I could do that by myself.
Right.
But that's the mentality of most of the women. So that's who we need to get at. So
okay,
that's where I was going on it. I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of like it's 50-50 on both sides of the question. Traditional
Absolutely.
And 50-50. You needed both. But I look at it also as where they say 100-100.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because no one should give half of themselves.
Exactly.
But you're going to say the other half.
Yeah, you got to
know what I'm saying? So
100% into that relationship.
I definitely understand that.
Into
but
that person.
I'm a firm believer in gender roles and how they matriculate into progress and success in a relationship or a family.
But see, so I am big on gender roles as well, right? But then there also has to, we have to talk about like the circumstances of that. Like, it doesn't make you any less of a man because you washed them dishes today. It doesn't make me, you understand? It doesn't make me any less of the woman in this role because I knocked this bill out for us real quick while you was in between whatever situation. No. It doesn't diminish our actual gender roles because you are very much man and I am very much woman in this scenario. But there's sometimes it's something called a helpmate. That is what your intention should be when you're getting into a relationship. Right. I am your helpmate. In the areas in which you need me to step up, I'm going to absolutely do that. And hopefully vice versa.
That's true. But a lot of times in a lot of relationships, people feel like, nah, you're supposed to be doing.
Bullshit. Ain't nobody supposed to do nothing. How about that? Every day you wake up next to this person, it's a choice. I'm choosing you today. I'm choosing to be in this situation. I'm choosing this relationship. The only person who's supposed to do something, like if niggas in prison, we're not doing that. That's not what this is. This is a relationship, right? That means that we are both two able-bodied individuals that have our own mindset.
You couldn't hear it, but I hit the wrong answer button.
Oh, is that the wrong answer?
Yeah.
What? I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. What made my answer incorrect, sir? But to say...
To me, I don't think 50-50 and traditional can go together.
You think you have to choose one lane or the other?
One or the other. If we're going to do a traditional relationship, you're going to play your traditional part. I'm going to play my traditional part.
Which is what? In 2023, what is that?
Which is take care of all the bills, provide us a place to stay, a safe place to stay.
Okay.
That's ideal.
And all our
but
finances and stuff are taken care of. And you're going to take care of the house and catering to me.
This is the difference. Hold on. Let me just say something. Okay. So, unless you making a lot of money.
A lot. This is
women ain't going to want to have that lifestyle. It can be done on $40,000. But y'all going to be a couple in a one-bedroom house. You're going to be taking national trips, not international trips.
Or a studio
and it's
apartment
gonna be,
in LA. Come on, look at
Right. True.
No, you can get a one-bedroom. You can get a one-bedroom.
Where?
You making $40,000 a year.
You're going to be living in the hood, but...
True story. Okay, I'll give you that.
You ain't gonna be in no deluxe apartment with
Right.
a weight room and a swimming pool.
You're
But
not.
Live within your means.
But
That part.
But there is no way a woman will just take that. I don't see that. I don't see.
They
would rather go out and work too.
Absolutely.
So y'all cannot live there, even though you don't need to. You live in there fine, but
it's nothing wrong with you wanting to elevate yourself and to have greatness. We could all live subpar if that's the case, right? We could all just take the bare minimum and do the minimum wage jobs, and we could all do that if that's what we wanted to do. We have our own desires.
No, I'm not talking about minimum wage now.
No, I know.
Minimum wage ain't no 40,000, no 50,000. That's minimum wage is them. That's the because the average is
that's $28,000 a year.
Right.
Well, that's down there.
Right.
The minimum wage.
But what I'm saying is, because you're saying what someone will allow and be okay with. Like you're saying, she won't be okay with the $40,000 situation. If she's not okay with that, there's one or two things that we could do here. Either I'm gonna walk away from you, or two, I'm gonna say, let me help you. Let me help us. Because helping you is helping me too.
Right.
You're an extension of me, and the other way around, right? This is this mirror. So I'm gonna go to work too, and we're gonna put our money together, and then maybe we won't have the deluxe apartment in the sky, but maybe we can get on the second or third floor. You feel me? Like maybe we can have a little bit more to go certain places and to have a better quality of life, and if nothing else, put something away for a rainy day. Because
that's the point. That's why I said I don't believe traditional relationships work nowadays with the economy the way it is, unless you're an upper echelon man.
Absolutely.
And unless you're a woman that can actually command that, not demand, because you don't deserve shit.
Agreed.
You get what you earn.
Agreed.
And don't get triggered by the table. That's the relationship. They be all talking about, I'm the fork, I'm the plate, I'm the table. So you bring a whole relationship to the relationship. So you just everything. But that's what they really mean, though, because the relationship is all around them. It's so egocentrical. And then when you call them narcissists, they be like, nah, men are the only narcissists. I'm like,
no,
okay.
Women are too.
Just like how there's toxic masculinity, but no such thing as toxic femininity. There's just toxic people, no matter either or.
That is literally that is literally my sentiment. That there is no such thing. First of all, masculinity is just that. But I 100,000% agree. There's no such thing as toxic. To me, my comparison was to say it's like black on black crime. Ain't no fucking black on black crime. Crime is crime.
Crime is crime.
Crime is crime, and everybody can get it. It's the exact same thing.
But is there toxic femininity?
There's toxic people. There's just toxic people. Like, no, a man living in his these masculine and feminine conversations irk my soul so bad, to the point where like you're sitting here saying to me like, oh, she has a masculine energy. You goddamn right, I'm a boss, bitch. But when it comes to my man, I'm the most feminine,
intimate.
It's
hard to shut off sometimes. It is hard to shut off sometimes.
For some people, it is hard to shut off. But let me tell you something. The right man can really trigger. I hate to say it like this, but the right man can really trigger your femininity and have you shut up. Because for me, if you're a real man, like, mind you, like, we all know that I'm real.
It depends, though. It depends, Miss Shine.
Well,
because see, the right man sometimes is gonna tell you the wrong way, and so when he be like, "Shut the fuck up," and you're gonna be like, "Oh, that's I'm see," because then the boss comes in. See, that's when the boss comes in.
Now,
people don't talk to me like that, but you're not realizing. No, but you're not realizing he been shouldering your static for the whole little while.
Is the right man a manly man?
No. It's sometimes the right man is not the manly man. Right, and that's just the thing, because again, the qualities of a man, what makes a man, it has nothing to do with his ability to chop down a tree.
It's all about his character,
character.
Being manly is a part of that too. And sometimes being manly is that shut the fuck up part that he was talking about, where it comes off abrasive and rough.
You could be a little more respectful. You could
From
be
a manly man, you might have to deal with one or two of those. We talking to the people in the world.
I understand.
So no, you're not gonna probably be on a nigga top to where he got to be like, you know what, shut the fuck up. What I see online,
true story,
after they say I'm a boss, is I need a man to tame me or a man to control me. You can't handle me. It's like so many.
No man wants
who
to come.
wants to though.
But that's my point. And so you might get it. But I'm saying the kind of man that wants to do that is gonna say shut the fuck up sometimes to you. But they be like. Then they hurt. Then they go into the victim Olympics.
Hurt? If your rah-rah conjured up a shut the fuck up, then you conjured it up. Sometimes you have to look at yourself because...
No, but they don't understand because they're bosses. And so they don't understand that they didn't shut it off.
It's called a reaction.
I told him one day, I said...
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It could be reaction.
But what was the action that begets sad reaction? So
my point.
You conjured that up.
It's hard for a person to see themselves as being cynical or... Because, they got a certain level of intelligence and they work. So they don't know when they need to turn it off.
Sometimes,
that's when the shut the fuck up comes.
Shut the fuck up came through that was one of those times.
The other day, the new trend is to be a victim.
You're a victim.
Oh, God, that's not even new. But yeah, we'll take that.
And if he loves you, though, he's not going to come off with that all the time. That's what I'm saying. That's like triage.
Right. If that's in the moment, listen. If there's a moment where I'm being team too much, right? If it's too much rah-rah, if it's too much or whatever it is, again, I've grown to this person. So we talk. You talk about like what a woman does, whatever. Like the way that I used to be, the reactions that I used
to like get in arguments face to face with.
Let me tell you something.
With niggas and just,
I've never fought a female. I've only ever fought a dude. Real shit. That's not something to brag about. Like literally, even like put hands or some shit. Like actual things. Like. I've never had a fight with a female, but like men, for whatever reason, like I've had niggas punch me in my face, punch me in my head, push me up against lockers, like the whole, like, listen, and not because I was even being mouthy. Those weren't even mouthy moments. Those was niggas trying to be that quote unquote toxic masculine, manly man, because I told you not to talk to so and so, but we don't even go together. What are you talking about? Right? That type of energy, and then they get mad.
But you know what it is?
What is it?
And I didn't used to believe this.
Go forth.
But you attract what you put out. So even if you saying at that point you were toxic, so you were attracting toxic niggas. So
no. I wasn't toxic. No.
Let me tell you something.
I'm gonna stop you on this one right
toxic.
Here. No. You wasn't my dude. I wasn't.
Okay.
You weren't even. The things that happen in these instances are people who we're not even talking. Your pregnant girlfriend is walking around over here, and you're mad because I'm talking to someone else minding my business. It's only random situations like that where it's happened. Anybody that I actually talked to.
That nigga likes you.
Yeah, he obviously. But what a beautiful way.
You think?
What a beautiful way
to show. Was he in your friend zone? No.
Man.
What a beautiful way to show it. But the point is here of what you're saying of when the rah-rah comes, right? When you're in a place, it's all about your ability to communicate. Like I said before, most people, they're yelling because they're trying to be heard. They're not able to effectively articulate themselves in a moment. And then that's when the rah-rah comes. And then that's when a man comes in and says, shut the fuck up. And you have to... That's when you do that. But when you learn how to communicate effectively, when you learn how to say your words, sans emotions, even in the most difficult of times, when you learn how to go into your respective corners, think about what you need to say and remember that this is somebody you fuck with. This is somebody who actually fucks with you. This is somebody you care about.
And the caveat, y'all, is this. These are situations and scenarios when you're dealing with a so-called boss babe. Me personally, I don't want a boss babe. I would deal with a female that had a regular job, just like me. If I had a regular job and some hustles on the side, she could have a regular job and have a hustle on the side, a business that I could help her start, and we could, but boss babe, like for CEO or trying to be a CEO or something, or a real boss, because a lot of females say they bosses, but they don't have no employees.
Right.
So you're not a boss yet. You might be an entrepreneur,
right,
or entrepreneur being something, but boss is an elite category.
Business owner.
So let me say this though. You're talking about a boss babe or that boss ass energy or whatever. First of all, I am a boss, whatever. I actually am in real life, right? So, but with that, one thing that I've said, and being in the position that I'm in, is that you don't get paid more to have people to cater to you. You actually get paid more because you have to consider in which they need to be communicated with, how they need to be catered to. You have to be able to identify their deficiencies and see how you can affect a positive change to get the desired results. So you're not getting more coins so somebody can bow down to you. If you're a real boss, then you would learn
the responsibilities that come with the power and authority.
Exactly. So then respectfully, if you're going to take that energy into your relationship, then you should learn the best way to communicate with your man.
But you know what the kryptonite is? What also comes with that? A lot of times the kryptonite is, because a lot of them, they will say, because they're smart enough to understand it and they grasp it, so they grip that. But the kryptonite is the accountability.
Oh, see.
So that's the,
That's a cuss word in a majority of women's handbook. Just people in general, I guess we should say. But if we're talking about the women perspective, it's a lot of women that refuse to acknowledge their wrongs.
You got a question for us?
Well, I would say, like, at what point does a man, like, come to the conclusion that this is what he wants to take serious? Like, when does that happen? Like, who is it truly based on? You meet a good girl, you know she's dope, or you perceive that to be the case, which is why you entertain her. At what point do you decide, I'm going to stop with the fuck shit and I'm going to actually pursue this for real?
If a man is still chasing his dream or success or the ability to be more financially stable, the longer it takes.
To identify that you could possibly be that helpmate?
Yeah.
Why is that?
And
the
woman that endures that
if he's
timing,
if he's allowing any to even, because the guy you sound like you're explaining is he's focused strictly on his purpose.
That
so he's not looking left or right. It just has to happen.
Then when it does, and then you're not looking. That's usually when the most great things happen, right?
And generally those men end up married because they have purpose and they date with intentions to marry and they look for wives. So other than that, they kind of fuck the market up for average guys, because what they'll do is they'll sleep with somebody and she may show tendencies of a 304, and so they put her in the sex only category, but now she believes this is her new level of man.
Right.
So she's a 5, but she only can see 8s and above as her level because she had a one night stand or a 2-week relationship. So that's what's kind of skewed. But to answer the question though, I think it's different for most men depending on what their purpose is or when they find their purpose. So ideally, men don't really become successful until post 30. Post 30, I would say, just generally, to where you know what your purpose is. Some people are successful at that time. Some people are actually making progressive steps towards it, even if not planning and taking classes, or not necessarily classes, but they do more like
workshops or
trades.
You
know what I'm saying? But it just depends. Like I said, so if you know you want to be married early because that's all you've seen, then you have a traditional kind of foundation, then you're still going to want to either have a trade early out in your early 19, 20, 25. You still going to want to make sure you're solid so you can take care of a family if that's what you've seen, a traditional family, and you know what it takes to make a marriage work. So you're still not going to get serious at that time. But again, it's different because, like I say, the 20% of men that we were speaking about, they exist in the ghetto. They exist in high schools. They exist in college. So that's what people be really tripping off of. They be like, nah, all these women sleeping with the rich men. No, it's not the rich men. All these baby daddies out here, one dude with 4 different baby mamas, he not rich. All of them ain't rich.
It's the most popular dude within that.
He's in the top 20% of that social
structure.
So it could be the rappers, the ball players, the poets, whoever that has that, the tall guys. And if you got 2 or 3 of those, oh my God, this nigga got 4 baby mamas and 2 side pieces. You know what I'm saying? So it's different levels to that. So then, but I'm saying if you're one of those guys, it's almost, not to be funny, especially if you get it young, you're almost living life like a female in a sense. You turn 18, you don't have a problem with sex. You don't have a problem, like you live, it's a privileged life.
So
collar pop, but it's a privileged life, you know? And so those people may have to go through certain experiences, lose a good one. And it's kind of hard to find out that you lost a good one because most of the times, even when you cheat on a female, she expresses anger, and she thinks that's what should trigger the man to stop doing it. It's not.
It's not.
You know what would trigger it? You showing him that you are genuinely hurt.
And I feel like the common theme or thread that's going to happen in this exchange is going to be learning how to communicate. And that if someone really truly knew how to communicate effectively, a lot of this would diminish, because what you just said was that she feels that she's hurt, and if she could express herself to show the hurt over the anger, well, guess what? She doesn't know how to. So she goes to anger.
That's just in that one scenario, but I understand that.
You know what I mean?
do understand that.
But I'm just saying, even as a man, when we say that men don't know how to articulate their emotions effectively, because a lot of times when a man is hurt, it may only translate itself as anger or avoidance.
Let's also honestly realize when someone expresses anger towards you or me or you close down, you push them away.
Yeah.
Who does?
Anybody
does.
People get defensive like that.
Everybody does. Anytime somebody like gets like that, you automatically get like, you know what I'm saying? Even if you don't say nothing, you'll put up a wall. I'm not hearing it.
True story. Yeah. But this is why, again,
what I'm saying, maybe not the best thing to do, but it's true. Like, so when they express anger because they can't find a way or feel that they can have a safe space because they've already feel violated, that to express that's
going to be the first instinct.
It's still going to respond back anger. It's just a natural, when you express the anger, no, I'm just saying, as a person, not as a man or a woman, but as a person, you're going to get defensive. You're going to put a wall up, even if you know you're in the wrong. You're going to say, are you just going to shut down and not get the answers that you want? And she's going to feel like you don't communicate. And so those are the things that come from that. But again, no excuses. I'm not excusing it. I'm just giving the reality of it. And that was just saying, because we were talking about at what age may a man decide to settle down. And I was just saying this particular type of man, if he's one of these high value, in not sense of finances, but in the sense of top 20% of men, the man with options.
Right.
Those men with options know they have options.
So they ain't settling down.
They're not really settling until, like I said, either they feel like they've hurt one and lost a good one, and then they may start, as they get older, then they'll start looking at it differently.
That's
so those, but I mean,
it's a horrible reality to have to like.
The other shoe also says and that's a minority. Now these are the 80% of men. Simps don't know no better, raised to pedestalize a woman. She's the queen to be.
They would settle down in a heartbeat.
Right. With any and everything. And that's how they end up with so
many. And they get their
many
shit busted. They get their heart broke. They disgusted. And then so now they turn into
assholes.
Yep.
There they go. So it's a,
Again, it's back to a woman. You're creating all these crazy men that you're complaining about. Making all these Frankensteins out here, and when they come back,
stop friend zoning these red pill ragers.
Wait,
because that's a class of people that do what we do. Is the red pill ragers, which mean basically you rage because your heart's been broke, you've been cheated on, and now you not necessarily misogynist, hate all women, but you don't give them a fair chance. And that's another thing why I say that a lot. And I got that from the Godfather, Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. I try not to enter into a discussion in bad faith. I try not to. Even though what the majorities is, even though my anecdotal experience line up with the majority, but I try not to just lead off in bad faith. So try to have good faith conversations. Oh, and for those that don't know, the purpose of the show is actually to bring families together. And I think a big way of us doing that is average people need to see average people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying don't have standards, and if you can catch an NBA player, I mean, if he love you, he love you. You know what I'm saying? But just know what come with that too, and that's a whole nother concept. But basically, we here for the family.
Catching you a plumber or a carpenter,
Let me tell you something. That
electrician, ain't nothing wrong with having that standard.
Did we answer the question for you?
Kinda.